Welcome back to another episode of Talk2 podcast. I have Solomon King here, MMA fighter, jiu-jitsu. You do kickboxing as well, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so today we're going to be talking about what he does in this beautiful gym that I just got here, intimidated and comfy at the same time as well. But if you know what you're doing, then, okay, you can survive in here. So this gym is called actually the Team Rhino MMA Waterford gym. What's the name of the actual gym here?
Like it's literally just Team Rhino Waterford. So
Okay.
we're affiliated with, we have like the Gambao Jiu-Jitsu as well.
Okay.
So we do the Jits and the MMA in the same spot. So like there's no specific name. We just say like Team Rhino.
Okay.
Like, it just covers everything usually.
Okay, so today we're probably going to be like focusing more about you, what you do, because what I found interesting, obviously, I started watching MMA a while back, but then I started paying more attention when the likes of Conor McGregor came on the scene, and then I started seeing guys from Waterford started doing MMA. Your brother, obviously, Sam, started doing MMA. He's been doing for a while. I heard about him in Wexford, over in Wexford, and then when I seen you, you know, obviously my friends will talk about you going into your fight and stuff like that. And you currently holding like 3 belts. I'm looking around. I know you guys can't see it, but he has like 3 belts over here. Real thing. You understand? When did you start fighting exactly? At what age?
So like Sam, like you mentioned there, like my brother, he was the one that first started. So this would have been maybe 5-6 years ago at this stage. So he started, then him and OP, my cousin as well. Like they were the first people that were going in training.
Yeah, I remember when they started. Yeah.
And Sam would come back home just kicking the shit out of me. And like just say, let me try this. And I was just like, well, and I was still playing soccer at that time. Like so I was playing football with St. Saviour's just down the road as well. And so when he was going in, about just before I went to college, so when I was about 19, just before I went into college, I went down to, it was like called Waterford MMA back then, in like the industrial estate up the road.
Is that the one by the post office, is it?
No, not there. Like, so I don't know the exact, where the motor garages are. That's where it was before. So like I went there for maybe 3 months, like roughly before, actually like about 2 months before I went to, just the summer before I went to college. And then I had to go Dublin there for college, and then that's where I actually that's where I actually learned most, where I started out in compound martial arts in Dublin. So that's where I actually started training away and like taking away that way. Sam was still training away over here as well, but then he got injured. Things went like, you know, so so I've been from 19. I then also from soccer tore my ACL, my LCL, like just destroyed everything in one go, man. It was like I'll say like the knees is like it's way too weak for what it should be able to do. But look, I got the surgery, and then I went into kickboxing then because I couldn't really grapple as much wrestling or anything.
Is that what, like, do you need that a lot on jiu-jitsu when you're like doing jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, because it involves, you need, like, you're moving in weird ways that, like, you could be on top or bottom and then you're trying to get up and you can just twist it. Yeah. So you need you need dexterity in your knees and things like that. So that was, when that happened, I just went purely K1 for a good while. Like, and even when I was doing the K1, I wasn't even kicking. It was just boxing with kicks, if you know what I mean. So, yeah, did that for a while. That kept going. That was grand. Then I went, when the knee started getting better, then I started going back into the jits and the wrestling. And then over there, I came back to Waterford after college about 3 years ago. And then I settled in Team Rhino Waterford now. We have like Bobby Mead, head coach there, Gary Wallace, and also like Arrow and also Richie as well. So we have a few of the main guys that's taking the classes and stuff. But it's a big gym, like it's literally like a family, like, you know, so there's a lot of people.
I see you guys have like a great team behind you, because obviously the amount of support that you guys get as well when you guys go fighting and stuff like that. Like I wasn't aware that you had a belt. Like obviously, like my friends were telling me that your next fight is a belt fight, and that's a K1.
It was the MMA one. That was the most recent one anyway. Like so,
and you won that one. Yeah. And I think you lost. Not quite sure when was this. How was that? I think it was about a few months ago. I think the lads were saying I was going. I think I was going somewhere. I think I was on holidays either. They said they were going there. They went to watch. Yeah. I think you were fighting an Eastern European guy. Not quite sure. Yeah. And then they said you lost that fight. From what I know, from my knowledge, from what I heard. How was that bouncing back? Because you lost that one, then you went ahead and won that one. That was the title one. Yeah. How was bouncing back from that fight? Because I know, for instance, I never did MMA or anything like that, but I know the mentality that you go through when you do something, like, you know what I mean? And then you go into another fight as well, and knowing that it's a title fight, you understand? How was it?
Pressure, yeah. See, my approach to most of these things, like that's how I try to approach life in general, to be honest. But I expect at this level, like I'm still like I don't get paid for this. This is just amateur at the moment, and like I have like big plans in next year coming in. So like that's what I'm building up towards. I'm just taking my step one step at a time. So the losses, I don't stress it too much because first of all, I'm not getting paid. So it's not like it's not that much of a big deal. And if I go in there, like it's a dangerous enough sport, even though you might think like it's amateur or whatever, like there's people get injured badly in this. So if I go in there and I come back out and I still look good, I'm okay. You know what I mean? I don't stress it that way.
Okay.
So like it's all about the experience at this stage. When I went in there, it was a good fight. Really enjoyed it. It was actually against Emil Pietek. I'll be fighting. It's my next fight now again. So
you fight? Is this like a rematch?
Yeah, it's like a rematch then in March coming up. That's gonna be a big fight. Like really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, it's just a learning experience. Like I went in there, know what he can do. I know what I can do, and it was good. I enjoyed it. Like I didn't feel overwhelmed at any point at all. So then, like you said yourself, there, just move on to the next one. Move on to the next one. Get your experience. Come back. Win, lose, whatever it is. Just get better from it, you know.
And what got you to into doing mixed martial arts or keep? I know, like you said, like Sam, like obviously there's one thing about following your brother's footsteps and all that, but it's another thing for you to actually continue to do it again and again and again and get to a place where you can win championship belts and all that kind of stuff. What got you to kind of say like, okay, I lost, I'm not giving up, I'm going to keep going again?
Exactly. That's really good because, like you said, it's like Sam, like following your brother's footsteps, that's like, big brother kind of thing. You want to do like, oh, he looks cool, I want to do what he's doing kind of shit like that. So that's good. That's what, got me started into it. But then the more you do it, like I fell in love with it in the sense of like, just like, first of all, they learning a new skill, like, trying to get good, like, and you notice you're getting better, like, like at this 1 minute, someone like is like beating the shit out of you, and now he's not beating you as much, and then now, like, oh, it's getting more even, and then like that feeling, you're like, oh, I'm getting better at this, I like this, and then keeps getting better. But what to me, like when I'm on my own and when I start thinking about this, it's like it's the mental aspect of it that I enjoy the most, because it's a different feeling in there. Like you could train all you want, you could do whatever you want, but once you get in there, the fear, like you're going in there and someone is trying to hurt you. Like it's not like it sounds stupid, you could walk
but
on
professionally, obviously.
Like you're going in and then you're going into danger. Some people run away from danger. You're walking, so it's just a mental strength you need, and it develops your mental strength that way as well, and it builds character in different ways. Like I've always tried to say that I think just every person on earth should at least do jiu-jitsu. If they're not gonna fight, just do jiu-jitsu. It just, in a sense, it changes your mindset in a lot of ways, whereby you're not like, you see the biggest dickheads around, if they come in on the mat, they have two options. They rather change their character and get better, or they just get the shit kicked out of them.
Is it discipline? You get discipline in there
very quick. Yeah. So that I like that. It's like, but the biggest thing for me that I'm gaining at the moment is just the mental strength, because it gives me the strength. Like if I could do that, I could do a lot more other things in life. You know what I mean? Like I have big plans for myself as well, and I could use that as a fuel to channel my path forward.
Speaking of big plans, do you plan on, say, if the opportunity came on for you to go pro, do you plan on going pro with mixed martial arts? Or?
Yeah, so that definitely, that's what I was saying, 2020, going into that, I have big plans for next year. Okay. So the main games, I have next fight is a K1 fight, just really, to be honest, it's just to get back into the swing of things in February, and then back MMA against Emil in March on Cage Legacy in Drogheda. We're gonna try get a big group up for that.
That would be amazing. If you get all of us can go in there and just show support.
We're thinking we're gonna get a boss and then
join in everybody. That's gonna be great. But listen, if that's happening, I definitely would like to join. I would like to know the dates in advance, just book off work, anything do, and just get everyone and just go in there. I think it's gonna be a great opportunity to go in there to I seen live fights. I think it was in Cork when I see. I think I watched Mo. He does kickboxing.
Yeah.
I watched Mo fight, and that experience was amazing. Going in there supporting. Obviously, he won, and it was a great crack as well going in there.
Yeah. Mo was a different level.
Yeah. See, all these guys are hard, but you know, for me, like I'm an old head. For me, I watch you guys pretty much grow. Like I would be like not even with your brother Sam. I'll be like with your brother Victor.
Yes,
you understand?
Exactly. Yeah,
with
that's how I would have known you as well.
You understand? With your brother Victor, like I'll be hanging out with him, and I'm watching it, and then like when I see you guys, I was like, wait. I feel like we on our part of the side, we jump like that box. Like you guys are moving into like, you know, because like we moved in and then we hung out like with people. We did all these parties and all that kind of stuff. You guys just like went in and was like, nah, we're going left.
Yes,
you understand?
Yeah.
I was like, wait. These guys are fighting now. What's going on? Let me start paying attention to this.
Yeah.
But like I wanted to ask you one thing. It was how do you keep yourself, for instance, like what's your nutrition like? Because I got into the nutrition. You remember that one day we were like at the gym. And then this guy came in. I don't know. We just started talking at the sauna. I think you walked into the conversation.
Yeah.
And he was talking about plant-based. At first, I was like, what is this guy talking about? Like, I mean, what's he talking about?
Yeah.
And then he told me to watch that thing on Netflix. And I eventually watched it. And after I finished the watch, I was like, wait, what?
Shit, yeah.
Do you, like, obviously, I know you were saying something about, like, you probably eat whatever you want. Like, what's your nutrition like? Like, what things that you eat that, you know, that keeps you stable as a fighter as well, like, you understand? Because you keep yourself in good shape, because like, you have to obviously do your sport.
Is that like the nutrition aspect of that? Like nutrition is so complicated. Like it's not straightforward. That's how I look at everything. Like you were talking about the Game Changers documentary. I only watched that recently as well, but I like my approach towards nutrition is like I just try to eat. Like to be honest, like when I'm not training, like prepping for a fight, like I wouldn't like I like my cookies, right? Like I like so I don't eat like it's not like I eat the healthiest or whatever, but in general I just try to eat like real food. Now there's cases like the Game Changer was like pushing a lot of like meat is bad for you, this and that. And like being honest, like I don't know shit about it. Like, you know, like I'm not a scientist. Like I don't know enough in that instance, but I try to listen to as much.
Did that like caught your attention, at least for you to like, you know?
Yeah, like okay, pay attention to this a little bit. Like what? Because they have evidence backing it up, but then at the same time, there's another group of people that have scientific evidence backing up that there is like no harm. Like people go into like heme iron, like B12 for like there's so many different things, and I'm just like
I need to watch the one with the meat, because I watched that plant-based one and I just went around told everybody, okay, that's it, I'm going vegan. I was like, I'm going vegan, because me, like this year, coming towards this year, like throughout the whole summer, I went in. Like for me, if it wasn't for my injury, I'll be doing some type of sport that kind of like challenged my mind. I always wanted to get like to the next level further. And then obviously you always see me at the gym. When I'm at the gym, it's a different thing. I'm going into the gym just to like, you know, talk to myself, not literally talk to myself, but mental state, and to be able to train as well. If I know I'm lifting something, I'm like, okay, I'm going in there, I have to focus, and I just have to put all my energy, all my focus in there. And then I start getting into the nutrition, to the part of food where they say, okay, if you eat this, and I started watching my body change. I was like, okay, so it means I'm eating well, so I should keep eating this. So then I gave up like red meat, all that type of stuff, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna chicken. You have to keep chicken around and stuff like that. And then when I watched the plant-based one, I was like, okay, maybe we need to like switch direction to see how's that going. And I was like, okay, cool. But like, I don't know if I can like give up some of the stuff. That's why I was like, okay, when I sit down and talk to you, I need to ask you about this question and see if you guys apply that. Is that encouraged here as well in the gym? Or? Like,
not really in the sense of like go plant-based or go meat or like give up meat or whatever. Like it's not really pushed in that sense. I think, being honest, like if you look at it, majority, like all of these like diseases or anything that's affecting people in general, like it's not isolated only to meat. Like it's not like these people are just eating meat and that's why they're getting cancer. That's why they're getting this. Like, you eat meat and then you're eating like your meat probably comes from like inside like a McDonald's or some shit like that. Comes like from like just like different shit that God knows what's inside it. Like it's not just, you can't say it's just the meat that's causing the problems on its own. Like that's how I'm looking at it here. Like it's not, I think there's a lot more at play than just meat. And same thing with plants. Like obviously plant is good for you. Like you can't like we've known that forever, but I say if you look at food in general, you eat proper food, like food that grows from the ground. Like meat, I listened to a podcast recently, and it was just talking about like the stresses that the meat causes on your body. But then if you eat meat and like plant products together, that negates like the effect or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
So you have to balance
the things that, yeah. And then you hear there's these people that are on the carnivore diet. All they eat is meat, nothing else. Like there's like a different branch of something. Like all they eat is meat and nothing else.
Carnivore diet?
Yeah, literally.
That sounds horrible.
Like, that doesn't sound safe for you. But like their claim is like there's oxidants and there's implants that's bad for you as well. So people come up like with so many different things, and it's hard to argue with them because like you could nearly find something that proves what you wanted to prove if you really try hard enough. So my approach is I just like eat food, like proper food. Like if like you're not getting your food, if your food is not coming from like just a bunch of junk food, like having like mayonnaise and like different, like you know the food. I mean, you don't even have to say it. You just know, like pizza. Like I love pizza. Don't get me wrong.
Me too.
But you know yourself. Like you look at it, that like there's no way that's good for you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you balance that out in that sense, and it's not a case of like 24/7 or you're eating this pizza 24/7.
Sometimes, yeah.
Like balance it out, and you should be okay. Because when the food pyramid as it was before, it was like, eat as much. You could eat as much carbs, as much of this as you want. Limit this, like and now they're saying like that should be literally upside down.
Yeah, they're saying less carbs because you get bigger and all that kind of stuff. Because I gave up pork. When I gave up pork, I didn't really clock it until like you walk around a place like if I'm in Germany, like if I go into Germany and all they have is like sausage everywhere. Yeah. It's just everywhere you walk, it's just sausage, and you're just thinking like, wow, like what do I eat in here? But like I made a promise to myself because like I gave up pork because it was a part of my diet where we were saying, okay, this is happening maybe because you're eating all this bacon, but I replaced it with some other stuff that's healthy as well, and I gotten used to it. But to give up chicken, man, we're Africans. And I see the way your brother eat. I had parties in my house where we're like, I remember, I think it was like this Christmas thing. And then I invited a few couple people. And you know your brother's crew, they came in, they're running the house, and they're like multiple girls. And I'm just sitting there with like my girlfriend at the time. I'm looking around, I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right, cool, it's a party. It's supposed to be a dinner. And then we finished that. And in the morning, and we had to like the hangover food. There's like leftover food. Yeah. Your brother was having like Maltesers cake mixed with like potato salad, and mixed with like there was an African food there as well, and beignet, and he put it in the microwave. He was heating that up, and I was just looking at him disgusted. I'm like, dude. Oh, bro, man, if you had to go to the toilet, man, just use it your own in your house.
Don't be doing that in my house.
Please don't use my time. He was like, wow, man, I'm just eating food. I'm like, nah, bro, you're eating garbage.
Victor is mad as well. It was not like I remember when we were growing up.
No, it was Sam.
Yeah, but like, I think of Victor as well. Like, he would mix like Gary and like, that's like an African thing. And like mix that with Weetabix, mix that with like cornflakes, just mix everything together.
You eat like that as well?
Like, not like I'm like, pick one food and eat it, but like, I don't eat like I wouldn't say my diet is like superb. Like it's a lot better than the average person, I would say, because obviously as an athlete you have to take care of yourself in that sense. But like just to cover up like just everything, I don't at this moment I'm not convinced that like I can pure plant-based is the way to go, and I'm not convinced. Like I'm nowhere near convinced to say like pure meat-based is the way to go. I think there's a balance in between, and there's so much like diversity within people. Like what's good for me might be completely like wrong for you. Like there's things like, so I could eat like I think I heard this analogy as well before. Like I eat peanuts, I eat cashew nuts, I eat whatever, and like I'm cool. You give that to someone else, they die.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? Like, so,
exactly.
Like what affects me or whatever the way the food affects me is completely different to people. Like obviously there's a general consensus. We know that like trans fats and like processed food, processed sugar, they're bad for you. Like it's sort of like a well-known thing at this stage. So cut those out. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Cut the things that we know for sure is bad. Like if I cut out meat, there's benefit with meat, like in the sense of like the like this was what like it was in that show, like the bioavailability of protein in meat, like you're saying, it's more than plants and stuff like that. And I heard an argument with it whereby it is more like in sense of when you go to places like in Africa where Quachoko is like prevalence because they're not getting enough proteins in their food. And the meat is the best way to give it at that point. But when you come to like the Western world where like we don't like we could get protein in so many different ways, then you don't need to get the meat your protein from the meat because like there's also like the likes of heme iron and whatever they say is in the meat. Then you could avoid that by getting your protein from plants and whatnot. And like same thing, the meat, the animals get their protein from the plants. Like that's what
because they were like a cut the middleman.
Yeah, so so it's a valid point. I get everything that's coming from, but I'm just not convinced enough to say like and I like my meat. Period. Anyway, like so I can't just say I'm gonna give up meat, but. Don't get me wrong, it could be like maybe 2-3 years down the line and they're just like shit, no, definitely and I'm cool with that.
That's what I was going to ask. That was my next question, just to get off this topic here, you know, because I feel like we've been here for too long. Like if they, because you say next year you're planning to go pro and all that, if they come up and say guys like Diaz and all them, they went plant-based and they bet McGregor. You know, there's many guys, you have many examples. If you go on, like this is not promo, but like go Game Changer, whatever, Netflix, watch it. You understand? You see all these guys, even like Arnold Schwarzenegger and all them, they'll tell you like, oh no, they're like, you know, apply this, you know, this strategy. Like if they come over to you and say, listen, Solomon, listen, you're going pro, we need you to be getting at this level, you need to cut this, blah, 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 plant-based. Would you go like, nah, I'm not feeling it? Or would you be like, obviously, like, you know, adapt to that and then be like, okay, like when you're on a vacation, meat. Yeah,
literally, like my approach to that, like actually just to quickly cover the Nate Diaz kind of, Nate Diaz is not fully like plant-based. Like that's the, like what he was, John, what's his name? The guy that did the game. I think it's John Wicks or something. Like, but he, Nate Diaz, he eats fish and stuff like that sometimes. Like, but he's not fully plant based. But if they come to me saying, "Listen, this is what it is," like, there's a reason for you to go plant based. There's the benefits for you. If you could show me, right, I'm more than open to try it either, right? Like, so I'm cool. Like, as long as I'm eating food, I don't really give a shit. Like, so. If you could show me that there's benefits to it and it works, then I'm okay with that. If you can't show that to me and then you're just telling me, because a lot of like the vegans that push it, it's like, oh, save the animals, save this, save that.
Yeah,
like,
they put it in your face as well.
Yeah, and like that just pisses me off. I'm just like, no, like just because you said that, I'm just like, no, fuck off. So, but I'm open. Like I'm literally, I'm open to whatever comes. If it's plant based and it says, yeah, it's good for you, I'm cool with that. If it's like, no, cut out the plants, let's go meat, I'm like, I'm cool with that as well.
Yeah. Just to get off on that topic, on a sad note as well, like, I mean, about it was this year with this thing happening. I just want to talk about the Tega situation there when this kid, I think it was in Delmore Road, they were with their friends, you know, and they got into an altercation, all that, and then there was some words exchanged. They got into a fight, and then all of a sudden somebody pulled out acid. I don't know how, and they threw it, you know. The truth to this kid. This kid, I believe, Tega probably from Nigeria as well. Yeah,
Tega.
Is it Tega?
Tega is his brother.
Tega. Yeah, Terry's brother. Yeah. He then was admitted to the hospital. Him and he was with his friend as well. Yeah, two of them. They got like injury. I think his friend was like minimal injuries and stuff like. He got the worst of it.
Yeah.
In his face and all that. I seen the pictures, man. I just think it's sad because for me it was back then. Not that like, I'm like encouraging this. Back then, for us, when it was like time for us to like square 101, you can ask anybody. We met up a certain place, or whoever was the person to square 101. If you have 3 guys, we have 3 guys. If you had 1. It's just 1 versus 1. You guys go ahead and square off whatever you squared off. After that, you squash it. You move your own way. You understand? Or if you get there and you're scared, you just said, "Dude, I'm scared." Blah blah blah. I was talking smack. Acid to his face. He was admitted to the hospital. Couldn't see for a while. I don't know what's his state of mind right now. What's his health right now? But then, a few days back, people keep hitting me back. Oh, you need to talk about this justice in Africa. Not Africa. In Ireland, this thing is happening. What you think about this? And then eventually I started getting so many messages. I said, nah, I have to look into this. So I went into it and I started seeing it. I was like, wait. This is the acid attack happened a few months back, and then found out that these guys weren't being prosecuted. And that just, like I was raged. Like I was like, wait, what? Yeah. Like since when it's okay? I mean the minor, isn't that what they have, like a juvenile system for this? You understand? I understand the minor, they're like 16 or 17 or something like that.
They're 17 or something. I think some of them are like, you're basically 18. Like, I don't want to say, like, because I don't have the facts, right? So I don't want to like end up, but I'm pretty sure they're like 16, 17, right? And if that's the case, you're gonna be 18 in a year's time. I don't know what's gonna be significant that's gonna change change your life so much by the time you go from 17 to 18. This thing was premeditated, right? Like from like the story, how I heard what happened was, I'm sure there's like backgrounds, there's a good few other things behind it, but either way, they showed up, right, with that acid or whatever it is, like corrosive substance with them, right? They had a plan with this shit. They got in a fight, like you said back then, if you want to fight, let's fight, no problem, let's settle this right now, right? But then if you're getting like involved, like bringing knives involved, or like you pick that and you corny, like man. That's and take what's more hurtful as well. Like Tega, that guy is a talented motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was.
Like,
he was. I think Was he playing for the Irish team?
Yeah, he was like top level guy to me, and then like just to take like it's not. I'm pretty. I'm not too sure, but I'm pretty sure he's getting much better now. I was hearing something about his vision mic. But I don't know enough to. I don't want to talk about it if I don't know. But he was really like, I remember him, like his brother always talked to us about it. Like when we hang out, like he was doing really well, like really well, like on the Irish team. It wasn't like he was like one of those people just walking around. Like he was doing well for himself, and then you just took that away from him. Like not taking away, man. Hopefully not. But then you come tell me like, oh, you're just gonna give them a caution, like a joke, like. What does that mean? What does that actually mean? Are you saying
not just what does that mean?
That?
I think what message does that send to other people? I mean, any like this, like I don't know about anything, but I've never heard of a grown man using acid, which you expect them to use. But like, what message does that send to other kids? Some kids can just sit there and just be like, oh, it's cool to use this shit now. Like I can just use this on anyone. I'll just get a caution, because if I get caught, I can just turn around and say, well, so is such and such did that to those kids and he got caution.
Why you exactly like why would you treat me? You're literally, to me, that's like giving people the right to say, you know, you could use that if you're under 18, man. You're cool. Like, it's okay. You can't not allow that kind of shit. Like, and like we talked a little bit about it as well. I think it makes sense in the sense, if this doesn't get pushed, like I'm more than open like to push this in the sense of like force some sort of justice on this. Like, yeah. It's not fair. Like on the families, like the pain they went through, and then you're just gonna say, just give them a caution, just brush it. It's literally like, let's just brush this under the carpet. And like, again, exactly what you said. All the kids are gonna look at that all like, and there's some bad people out there. They'll look and be like, you know, I could get away with this, maybe. You know, you don't want that kind. You don't. That's not the precedence you want to be setting to people.
I think it's sad. Like, I just want to say one thing. Like when that kid was going through that, like I haven't gone through, but I had a partner, like one of my ex-partner, who went into like she burned her hands and everything, and we had to go to like the hospital quite often, and if you cared about somebody, you can see the pain she was going through. Do you understand? And just be there, and then you consciously just put, I'm just gonna be there, changing her bandages and all that kind of stuff. Now, I wasn't her mom or anything, about her, for a parent to go through that. You understand? And I don't know if people, I'm quite sure there's plenty of people, even African people, Irish people, because they're Irish kids, these people have kids too. Like, if this happens to your kid, like, why is the community not sitting down and say, wait a second, are we not going to stand up and have some kind of like a city hall sit down and have an argument or a discussion about this, or even like say, oh, we're going to have a peaceful protest about this thing that's happening, because I don't think this is fair. Like, not just that, like where is everybody to stand up and say, oh, like, what if this happens to your kid? Like, seriously, like, an acid in Waterford, like, like, if I hear the double, I'm like, you know, kind of doubling. London, I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever. They do that, like, whatever. Yeah. But this thing happened in Waterford, and I was like, wait, because like, when I heard that, oh, somebody got throw acid, because I didn't know it was him first. Yeah. And they're like, oh, they threw acid at somebody in the face. Colleagues that work with him. I was like, all right, that's cool. Where was this? It's not cool, but like, whatever. Where was this? They were like, oh, this happened like in Waterford. I was like, wait, what?
Shit, yeah.
I was like, wait, is this like Dungarvan or something? No, Dunmore Road. I was like, wait, Dunmore Road is one of the like posh, one of the most poshest parts you can go to, and you'll be like, wow, there's rich people, very rich people living here. Not just that it happening down my road and they're telling me, oh, it's Terry's younger brother. I was like, wait, what is this kid doing? Like, who's this throwing acid at kids?
Yeah.
Like, what kind of evil person goes to do this thing? But, like, I just wanted to, like, you know, bring awareness to that, obviously, and talk about that, because I felt like that was disturbing me for a while. I just wanted to, like, talk to the people and see what they think. All right, so obviously, like, we're at the end of the show. So basically, man, thanks very much for having me here. Okay, it was a pleasure talking to you. Just give all your social medias, anything. How can people find this dream? Anybody wants to come in here to like train, all that, you know, and like obviously get to your level and do jiu-jitsu and all that type of stuff that you guys are doing here. So
like the gym is more than open to everybody. Like, so literally, like we're in the 6 Cross Business Center. If you want to just come down, like they do beginner courses as well. And even if you want to just come in to just watch for a second, just to see what it's like, more than welcome. And then, so if like I said, the gym is open to everybody there now. You could get in touch with me as well on Instagram. Like Instagram is Saul King Simon, Facebook Solomon King Simon, and then also Twitter as well at Saul King Simon as well. So you could get in touch with that. And then I have a fight coming up in March. Mm-hmm. So that was their next big one, the 14th of March, Cage Legacy in Drogheda. So that'll be a very big fight. We'll try to get a good crowd up to that one. So if anyone's interested to get in touch with tickets and whatnot, just get in touch with me as well. We'll try to get a boss, get a good group going up on that, and that'll be good. That's the next thing. So.
Yeah, that's going to be a great fight anyway. I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully, I can have enough time for me to actually go there because I think it's going to be a great crack. Me, obviously, you know, guys, thanks very much for watching. Subscribe, like the video if you can. Follow me on Instagram, yours truly, the boy. Yours, number 2, RULY, the boy, all together. Facebook and all that. Talk2 podcast. Keep supporting. Thank you very much for having me. And like I say again, Solomon King, his fight is coming up next. And thank you very much for watching.